You too. Hey, you see it, man. You here too, man. I got GT in the background, you know what I'm saying, on my elder duties right now, but you feel me? We still gotta get these vids in. You see, so. And shout out to my man who recommended this vid for me, Hood Watch 24/7. Recommended this for me. Appreciate it. I'm finna get through all these vids, man, but straight to this one, man. Houdini and the city of fallen rappers. This should sound like a whole story that I'm about to. This shit already got 1 million views, so I already got a following, you feel me? So I don't like doing all that talking, so we just want to get straight to it, man. We want to just go as we go.
Not only you're a target, you're rapping about these people. Your house is 10 times the size of their house. That would make me dislike me if I was on the other side.
Hey, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Boosie, man. The last thing I heard of Boosie was that he got shot in Dallas or wherever he was at. You know what I'm saying? I don't be real in tune like that, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really like being on social media, because every time I hop on that shit, I see some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? We all know about King Von, we all, you know what I'm saying? Mo 3, you know what I'm saying? And this is every time I open on my phone, I'm seeing this shit. Like, but, yeah, man, the whole Boosie good, man. Anyways, like I was saying, Boosie and all that. And yeah, this is my first time watching this too. All my reactions is live. You already know how this go, man, but straight to it.
I don't need you, all I needed myself. I wasn't asking nobody for help. She wanted me cause her name ringing bells. Designer the G, so designer the belt.
He was just like my favorite rapper, literally of anyone. He was my favorite.
When you really think about it, yeah, most artists do get killed in their home city. And why do you think that is?
Hatred. People looking at you, saying, I wish that was me.
Bullets sent many fleeing for their lives here on this stretch. Now, the 21-year-old has been identified as a popular Toronto rapper.
All right, we got to talk about
Yeah, so I'm kind of getting the gist now. Like, I guess Houdini was up and coming out of Toronto and whatnot. But yeah, let's just watch the story.
the Houdini story, right? The jealousy and hatred rappers got to deal with in their own home city is terrible. And that's a fact in every state in America. But one of the most violent cities right now for up-and-coming rappers to make it out of is Toronto. And people don't realize this. There's a reason Toronto's becoming one of the most surveyed cities.
I'm gonna stick with it. You don't really expect that out of Toronto, you know what I'm saying? You hear Canada's got the nicest folks out there, got the nicest people, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Minnesota, man. I'm right under y'all. I'm right here with y'all. I think Toronto more like that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's just keep going.
In North America, it's looking like Beijing. They're getting cameras everywhere. Only Atlanta, Chicago, and DC got more surveillance per person. And that's because of the ongoing gang war that's been escalating for years, right? It's literally hunting season on rappers. And that's exactly what happened to Houdini. Houdini was sitting down with record labels in LA, New York, collabing with Pop Smoke. This kid was the real deal. Until a couple weeks ago, he was brutally shot and killed in broad daylight in the entertainment district of downtown Toronto. And this shit was surgical. They used Glock 9s with 30-round mags. They took advantage of Corona season by wearing medical masks to hide their faces. There was a 6-year-old kid that got caught in the crossfire, dodging bullets.
That has a high-capacity magazine. It's a 30-round magazine. And as this unfolds, I want you to pay attention to the little boy that ducks into the vestibule here.
So it's gritty. Don't be surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm learning this, but I'm not surprised. Like, so it's gritty. I'm saying, in Toronto.
The whole thing was nuts, right? And the city is shook right now. Now we're gonna get into all this, but before we do, my song of the day today is none other than Houdini himself. Alright, in order to understand.
I'm guessing he was gonna take over that like that little boy singing game. Like when I say that, like in that group is like the a lot of the Lils, know what I'm saying, but like you know what I'm saying, the soft spoken singing voice, know what I'm saying, that shit.
Understand this story, we gotta focus on one hood in particular in Toronto called Driftwood, or Northside Jane and Finch, and this is where Houdini's from. Now they're by far the most influential in terms of music in the city, but they're also a notorious Crip faction, right? They beef with pretty much everybody in the city. To the south of them, the south side of Jane and Finch, they bang Blood, and that's their direct rivals. The lowest income neighborhood in the city called Regent also has tension with Driftwood, stemming from rap beefs and rap killings. And another area called Rexdale has been Driftwood's rival for damn near a decade now. So they beef with everybody. Now in 2015, Driftwood kids kind of...
He said 10 decades, or almost a decade, he just said something like that. These niggas, how I'm guessing these niggas is 20 some, you know what I'm saying? When did Houdini die? Like, what age was he? Comment that out. I'm just gonna figure it out sooner or later.
And instilled the Chirac music vibe up in the north, in Canada. They were putting disses to rivals in their tracks and talking about the stuff they were doing in the streets in their lyrics.
If you diss my niggas, then you know we pulling triggers. Late nights with them killers, we kidnapping drug dealers.
Now that song is Robin Banks featuring Pressa. Pressa is one of the few who actually crossed over to the mainstream American scene, and he's actually living in Cali right now in a nice mansion. His rap career popped off for him, but before all that, he was involved in a case where he allegedly kidnapped 2 drug dealers, moving them around from location to location, holding them for ransom, until eventually forcing them to give each other head in front of everybody. 2 dudes. That's crazy. Now, Pressa was later cleared of those charges and granted the court's permission to go on tour with Drake out in England. And another rapper got 6 years in Pressa's place for the charge. Now, Pressa's partner, Robin Banks, who was in that track that I just showed, he was practically the pioneer for the scene, right? He had the torch early on from 2015, and he kind of started this organic hood label in Driftwood, where he was putting on all the rappers from his area. Robin Banks started getting millions of views, caught the attention of Meek Mill, who really rocked with the movement. Meek Mill and Robin Banks were sending paperwork back and forth. He was about to sign a deal with the Dream Chasers, and to celebrate, he was having the party at a hookah lounge called Cameo, where unfortunately his ops found out about it, infiltrated the party, and shot him up 9 times, leaving him in critical condition. Just as this man...
We gotta pay attention.
This organic hood label in Driftwood, where he was putting on all the rappers from his area. Robin Banks started getting millions of views, caught the attention of Meek Mill, who really rocked with the movement. Meek Mill and Robin Banks were sending paperwork back and forth. He was about to sign a deal with the Dream Chasers, and to celebrate, he was having the party at a hookah lounge called Cameo, where unfortunately his ops found out about it, infiltrated the party, and shot him up 9 times, leaving him in critical condition. Just as this man was about to cross over to the US scene, they orchestrated that hit on him. Now thankfully, Robin Banks is alive, but he's paralyzed from the neck down, and his ops were super disrespectful, posting memes of him in a wheelchair and stuff. Now he's still doing his thing, releasing tracks and of course pushing the rappers from Driftwood on his label, but the rivals going after Robin Banks like that really escalated the violence in the city, and it made it kind of a trophy for people to target rappers. This was like the first high-profile assassination attempt on a rapper who was about to cross over. Now the next year, the most influential artist out of the country was Smoke Dogg. Now I'm not from Toronto, you don't gotta be from Toronto to know Smoke Dogg. He was getting co-signed by Drake, doing shows in the UK and the US, and he's from the place.
Now, I don't know about him either, but I did hear about him. Smoke Dogg, I did hear about him, so he that big. I did hear about him.
Place called Regent Park. Now this is pretty much the trenches, right?
And I don't be none of that. I don't be doing none of that fake capping shit. Like, don't give people that credit, like, or like holding on to information if I know about someone, or just acting like I don't know somebody. You know what I'm saying? Acting like I don't know somebody. I don't be doing that with shit either. So, just yeah.
right? It's the lowest income community in the whole city, but it's not very close to Driftwood. And because of that, they didn't really have too much tension back and forth until one summer night at a club in 2018, Smoke Dogg got into a heated argument with a Driftwood rapper by the name of 21 Neat. And this shit escalated quickly, right? They stepped outside where 21 Neat shot and killed Smoke Dogg and his manager. Probably one of the most gruesome after death videos I've seen of a rapper, right? People were filming him and Smoke Dogg's brain matter was like leaking on the road. It was a wild scene. Now this pretty much gave Regent the green light to go after Driftwood as retaliation. And this created a whole bunch of new problems in the city where two neighborhoods that otherwise didn't have too much tension now had maximum levels of tension. And Driftwood didn't really care, like they were welcoming all smoke. Now the Toronto police didn't arrest the rapper 21 Neat for quite some time. They couldn't find him. There were even rumors that he escaped to Somalia, but he eventually got found out all the way out in the west coast of the country near Vancouver, where he was extradited back to Toronto to stand.
And my Molly niggas be going crazy. Don't even play with them. Real pirates, you can put them. We don't need them pigs to get on you. Stop playing with
trial for the murder of Smoke Dogg. Now this is when the story gets wild because 21 Neat has a brother who goes by the name of 22.
I know you look to see him. Yeah. He went, yeah. Real goofy looking
Neat, right? They're both from Driftwood. They're from the same block as Pressa, Robin Banks. They're all homies.
You can tell he don't know no better, so if someone like, I mean, he just looked like he don't know no better, so this is what's the video.
Which is why it was weird when everyone found out 5 months ago in December of 2019, 22 Neat killed his own homie and fellow rapper on their label named YS. YS had just gotten back from doing a bit in jail, and he was on a bunch of tracks that were getting hundreds of thousands of views, and out of nowhere, the feds found YS's body all the way out on the west coast of the country near Vancouver. And the rumors started circulating that 22 Neat, his own homie, was the one who pulled the trigger. Nobody really knows why he did it, but some people say it was over money. That's not been confirmed. Anyways, 22 Neat knew there would be repercussions, so he fled to a place called Calgary, Alberta. But he didn't last long. They actually found him dead 2 days later, as revenge for what he did to the homie YS. Now at this point, the city's in crisis, and Driftwood was putting out all this talent, but this horrific stuff kept happening.
Need a freelancer? Go to Fiverr.com and find one in seconds. Or don't go to Fiverr and waste your time searching.
Yeah, 30-30.
The next to pop out of the city was this rap duo formed by two brothers from Driftwood known as the Talib Twins. They had this track with 5 million views that was scorching hot in the city and in the US as well, before one of the twins eventually got locked up. So the other twin decided to keep the momentum going and kept releasing these fire tracks under the name the Talib Twin. In February of 2020, the Talib Twin was at a condo party on the 32nd floor of an Airbnb rental when two of his ops infiltrated the party and started opening fire. The Talib Twin fired back and managed to kill both of them before he himself died at the scene. And there's a bunch of speculation as to what happened. I mean, you can't make this shit up, right? Like some people say he tripped and shot himself, but the feds believe he went into another room in the condo and just ended his own life. Like the story's crazy, and the thing with Driftwood and the politics in the city is they beef with so many places that sometimes it's hard to say who is responsible for targeting them. They got a lot of enemies. And then of course, at the end of May, these people say he tripped and shot a party on the 32nd floor of an Airbnb rental when two of his ops infiltrated the party and started opening fire. The Talib Twin fired back and managed to kill both of them before he himself died at the scene. And there's a bunch of speculation as to what happened. I mean, you can't make this shit up, right? Like some people say he tripped and shot himself, but the feds believe he went into another room in the condo and just ended his own life. Like the story's crazy, and the thing with Driftwood and the politics in the city is they...
For a second, I thought he went on like a goofy, like, but then the shit I tried to just replay and hear it again. And shit, that's just a mystery then. They don't know what happened to bro. Like he was like, got them niggas out of there, wop. And then somehow couldn't make it back home or something.
Beef
Whatever.
with so many places that sometimes it's hard to say who is responsible for targeting. They got a lot of enemies. And then of course, at the end of May, the single biggest name out of Toronto who's not Drake or Tory Lanez or The Weeknd was the rapper Houdini. Now, as I said in my intro, this is a kid who is sitting down with record labels in New York and Los Angeles. He was gonna go places. But unfortunately, as the trend is in the city, Houdini was in the entertainment district of Toronto late in the afternoon. And little did he know, there was a Volkswagen Tiguan that was lying in wait on the east side of a street called Blue Jays Way, which is right where he had to go by. They were waiting for a long time, over 40 minutes. And Houdini was with a 15-year-old boy at the time, and they were making their way down the street. And once they got in range of the Volkswagen, a lone shooter got out of the vehicle and started unloading a bunch of clips in Houdini's direction. There was this little kid who was caught in the crossfire as well as a family. Like, this whole thing is on CCTV footage, right? It's heart-wrenching. And they unloaded a bunch of clips into Houdini, who got hit and kept running, right? Adrenaline, even if you get wounded mortally, you could still run because you got adrenaline. So he was running with a bunch of bullets in his body and then eventually collapsed and died. And the 15-year-old kid who was with Houdini was also strapped, and he was trying to get off shots back at the assailants, and then his gun jammed, right? Which he got rid of in an alleyway and ran away. Now, Meek Mill, Tory Lanez, and a whole bunch of others took to social media to express their condolences as soon as this happened. And you could see just how much the industry was rocking with Houdini. Like, this was a kid who was about to make it. But just look at Toronto. The city is in shambles right now. Like, the retaliation killings have already been ordered. Houdini's own memorial got shot up in this ridiculous video you can see on YouTube. It's like this drive-by style video where out of the darkness, this car...
These niggas is dirty like that? I mean, again, we not surprised. We just learning this shit. Like, Toronto
pulls up, starts opening fire into a crowd. The whole crowd is strapped up, so they immediately start firing back. But this shit is nuts. I know this happens in the States, it's nothing new, but I'm coining Toronto the city of the fallen rappers because the trend recently of the up-and-coming rappers who are now dead is just unparalleled. Like, you...
Yo. So no, you know what I'm saying? Me personally can't give no fuck, because I'm just not from that realm. I'm not from that. I don't know nothing about them. Like, but if they have some hot songs, my nigga, comment them for me. Recommend some old vids for me. But as you can see, like, I mean, show me something hot from the Toronto scene. I'm gonna get in tune with it. But right now we just not. So put me on, and then we gonna keep going on with that. But with that said, let's I'm gonna watch them other vids, you know what I'm saying? My partners was trying to get me to react to, so shout out to them. And then again, that's that with this vid, so we'll see you on the next one. We gone. 19 minutes, that's tough.